news. Now, let me take you live to Parliament now, because there was chaos in the House today when Majority Leader Afenyo Markin took aim at John Mahama's running mate for the 2024 election, Professor J. Nano Opoku-Agyeman. The two leaders were concluding debates on the State of the Nation address. The Minority Leader, Dr. K.C. Alatoforsen, had concluded his debate, which partly focused on Vice President Mahmoud Bawumia. Majority Leader Afenyo Markin also used a considerable part of his debate to berate the choice of the former University of Cape Coast Vice Chancellor as running mate to John Dramani Mahama.
When the IMF boss was interviewed by Graphic, sorry, 2014, on the 3rd of 2014, when Graphic interviewed Madame Christine Lagarde, this is what she had to say about Ghana. Quote, she said the country was making tremendous progress. However, when oil was discovered, we could not sustain the oil revenues, and same got abused. And what went wrong? And I'll quote her. According to her, Ghana made tremendous strides over the past 15 years and ranked among the fast-growing countries in Africa that have made significance in poverty reduction. But the discovered oil might have given the illusion that the public finance imbalances would get resolved easily. Continue. This may have weakened the sense of fiscal discipline, but in reality, oil revenues flowing to the budget have been relatively limited compared with other oil producers. Mr. Speaker, she goes, as a consequence, public debt has more than doubled since Ghana was released in 2005, she added. Mr. Speaker, so clearly, this is the IMF boss speaking, telling Ghanaians that when this same group of persons under the banner of the NDC had a chance, they couldn't appropriate our oil revenues in a manner that Ghanaians were to benefit. Ghanaians suffered under their regime. These are the same people who today are telling Ghanaians that they can do better. And that brings me to the question. They have a former president, they have a former education minister who make their card for this in December. We know the track record of the education minister. All the promises she gave under the e-block system. When she boldly means that free SHS was impossible. She was the chief advisor on education policy. And this government has implemented free SHS. If you want to bring the same Mahama of yesterday and Jane of yesterday to rule 4 more years, Mr. Speaker, what new are they going to bring? In any event, we had the same IMF boss again addressing the press, a government of Ghana in 2018, Mr. Speaker, has made tremendous progress, has done so well. Mr. Speaker, this was after we are taking office. Mr. Speaker, this was after we are taking office. But I would borrow from President Mahama to sum up all the things that his own men in this chamber are saying to us. Mr. Speaker, I borrow from his words at column 1828 of the State of the Nation address he delivered to this House dated 25th of 2016, which is now part of our official records. Mr. Speaker, this is what President Mahama said. Quote, it is instructive that yesterday marked 50 years since the overthrow of Nkrumah. Indeed, a lot of the current happenings in our country can have a throwback to what happened in those last days of former President Nkrumah. Despite the huge monumental development, despite the progress the country was making, transformation and change in the lives of the people sometimes is difficult for people to see. Mr. Speaker, emphasis, sometimes it's difficult for people to see. I throw back these words at the NDC. It is so difficult for you to see the interventions that have been made so far. In the central region alone, the MPP can boast of the beach projects. In the central, though you have a running mate from there, for the 8 years you cannot boast of a single social intervention program introduced by you. In central region, the MPP has done so well. If you go to Ekunfi, the Ekunfi juice is there. The Ekunfi juice, that factory is doing so well. Today, it is exporting Ghanaian fruit juice abroad. Mr. Speaker, this is the MPP has done. In terms of education, all our children who qualify are getting the opportunity to study. The NDC cannot see, and your own flag bearer said that it is difficult for you to see. When we had crisis in this country, your own president said that because we are import dependent, when there are disruptions in global trade, our country suffers. Today, you are in denial. Well, this is what he told us in 2016, and Hansard has captured it. Where is your principle? Where is your principle? Mr. Speaker, Mr. President was very optimistic, was very candid, and he's told us that in spite of all this we go through as a country, it is possible to get out of this situation. In spite of the Russia-Ukraine war, it is possible to lay a good foundation for a proper takeoff. In spite of the repercussions and the aftermath of COVID, because of sound policies, it is possible for Ghana to move on. Therefore, Mr. Speaker, the future of this country is better secured in the hands of NPP and Dr. Bawumia than under the NDC, where we know their track record. They offer nothing new. It's the same old people.
Honorable Majority
they have just come back to mislead. I thank you so much for the opportunity.
Very well. Thank you so much. So, honorable members, on the 29th of February, the motion to thank the President for his message was moved by Honorable Abena Oseasari, and it was seconded by Honorable Samuel Kujitwa. The debate has gone on thoroughly, and today we've brought a close. So at the conclusion of the debate, I will question. And the question is, as many as are in favor of the motion moved by Honorable Oseasari and seconded by Okujota Brakwa, all those in motion say aye. All those against say no. Honorable members, you know the ayes have it. The motion is adopted. Honorable members, on behalf of the House, I shall accordingly, with standing orders 72-4, formally convey the decision of the House to His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Ghana. I thank you for the debate, and you are Honorable, I'm done. I'm thanking all of you for your support.
May I speak? Thank you very much. Just an observation for the leaders, and in particular their whips, to take note of. Mr. Speaker, on our parliamentary calendar, this particular session of the 8th Parliament 21st sitting is normally dedicated to an important constitutional assignment if you have calendar well, and for the young ones, maybe today they take guidance from. This session is normally for us to do what you've just done, to hear the president in accord with Article 67 on his message on the state of the nation. Then when we go home and come back, we expect the Honorable Minister for Finance to come for mid-year review of the budget in accordance with the Constitution and the Public Financial Management Act. Then when we come, the third session is the budget. So, Mr. Speaker, the leaders, you can't crowd watching your back. You can't come and do thank you to the president with these empty seats. That's not acceptable. So, Mr. Speaker, next time, on a day like this,
yes,
because, Mr. Speaker, on a day like this, it's because of maybe it was left for you, would not have allowed him to put the question. It's because Mr. Speaker is here. So, you watch your back. You are in charge. You are supposed to be in charge. That's why you didn't want the honorable and the doctor. You're supposed to be in charge. Look at your back. Mr. Speaker, and this is constitutional. Article 67, message on the state of the nation. And Mr. Speaker, even formally, maybe they should know what you do. You will attach the debate in the correspondence from this house to that. And we expect that the president will read he will be guided by some positive comments made by MPs so that he's guided into the future. What's the essence of what we are doing? Good governance. So you come on a day like this, leaders are concluding empty. But Mr. Speaker, because it's you said I'm putting the question, I almost rose to arrest the question. To arrest it if I got your attention. But Mr. You have so passed it. But the whips held the leaders. No. On the day that leaders are to speak, and on the day leaders are to debate, part of the respect for them as leaders of this house is your availability and presence in the house. At least to cheer you up, not in the way like a football stadium, to cheer you up.
Thank you very much for your...
So the debate on the State of the Nation address finally over. The Parliament will communicate their response to the President of the Republic. Let me bring in Parliamentary Correspondent Kwaku Asante for a brief chat on this matter. So Kwaku, it's over. So what next?
The First Deputy Speaker Andrew Amakwesi presided over the House today and will actually communicate the thanks of the Parliament of Ghana to the President of the Republic, and he indeed has indicated on the floor. But of course, it will not end without some controversy, and it was near chaos on the floor of the House when some NDC MPs will not take their seats. I mean, some of them standing and banging the tables on the floor of the House because of certain attributions that had been made by the majority leader, Afenyo Markin. Whilst Afenyo Markin was delivering his remarks, he referred to Professor Nana Ajilo, who has been named as running mate to the former president as old and someone who does not portend any future for the NDC. And because of that, the NDC MPs wanted him to retract the exact words he had used. Afenyo Markin at the time was not ready to do so, and the NDC MPs would not allow proceedings to proceed if he did not apologize and retract those comments. Initially, they refused to do that, and at some point, the second Deputy Speaker had to suspend sitting because the House was just degenerating into chaos with so many NDC MPs on their feet, Isaac Adongo, Alassane Suwini, and a number of them in the backbenches on their feet, banging the tables and saying that until Afenyo Markin retracts and apologizes for those comments he made against Professor Nana Ajilo, they will not take their seat. The House had to be suspended. And then the NDC MPs did a press conference led by 3 female MPs, also led by the MP for Ketu South, Honorable Jibago Mashi, who actually said that the comments of Afenyo Markin questioned women's ability to lead. But of course, not a response from the majority chief whip, Frank Anodom, who explained that there was nothing about the comment that had been made by the majority that should generate the kind of response that had come on. So after some back and forth, the House returned about 25 minutes ago, and Afenyo Markin had to continue the debate, but first by retracting the comment that he made in question to the John Mohammed's running mates that the NDC MPs found offensive. He had to retract and apologize for that, and then the sitting had to proceed.
So today is all about the conclusion of the debate. Nothing else happening on the floor?
Well, we expected that there's some $150 million loan that they expected to take. There's also a statement on Ramadan, which has started today.
Right.
But that $150 million loan, given the mood in the House now, it appears that may not be taken, but we do not have any indication on that yet. The sitting is still progressing with comments on the Ramadan that has just started today. There was a statement by Ibrahim Murtala Mohammed, MPs on both sides, that commented on that. After that, if the House is in any mood to do so, you already had Haruna Iddrisu raise questions about quorum. Early on, the NDC MPs, some of them had raised issues that there are so many NDP MPs who are not attending. And in fact, even some NDC MPs also who are not coming into the House. So after this statement, we will see the indication leadership will give to the Speaker of Parliament on whether or not the business should proceed, whether this loan agreement, $150 million, to support the budget, also the Greater Accra Region Resilience Program, will be taken or not.
Right. Thank you very much. Kokwa Asante is a parliamentary correspondent updating us on matters on the floor. Now